This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, places, events, locales, and incidents are either the products of the imagination or used in a fictitious manner.
Yeah, dude, I think it was just over 6 or 7 years ago that you and I first met on an ayahuasca retreat. Wow, on an ayahuasca.
Wow, tweeting, huh?
Yeah. Since you and I met on an ayahuasca retreat in Peru. Was that 6 years ago, 7 years ago?
Let's see. About to turn 26. We were 19.
How long ago was November 2014? It was November 2014, right?
Yeah.
That was 6 years ago,
Okay.
which is crazy. That's almost, it's over half a decade.
Yeah, man.
Dude, so just like looking back on that time, what do you remember about yourself before you left for the jungle? Like, who were you before retreat?
Well, I was working hard, so that's definitely changed.
Holy fuck. All right, so you went as a hard worker. You came out. You're like, fuck all that shit.
Yeah,
I'm for
basically.
real. Like, what brought you there? Why did you go?
Well, for me, man, it was because of mental illness. I was just struggling hardcore.
In what sense? What were you struggling with?
Man, you know me, man. I got
I know you, but the viewers don't know you.
yeah. You know, man. Just hearing voices and just all kinds of hallucinations and those crazy symptoms, man.
So it was getting like pretty bad at that point to
Yeah.
where you were like, I'm in need of some serious intervention. Or was it you
Right.
that decided to go, or was it someone else that told you to go? How'd that work?
Well, I had people telling me that I had to do something, so I decided to give that a try.
You had real people and imaginary people telling you to do something.
Yeah.
So what made you decide to go to Peru? I mean, where did you find out about it? Like, what was the genesis of that?
Oh man, I had heard about it from someone else that went, and it just sounded really cool and
Mhm.
very transformative. And I thought maybe I could gain some way to deal with what was going on mentally. So
Yeah.
some coping mechanisms, I guess.
I remember I've told the story on the podcast before, but I love telling it. So I remember when you first showed up at retreat and we were the youngest dudes there. We were like, I must have been like 22, 23 or something. Do you remember how old you were? You like 19?
19.
Yeah. So I was the youngest dude there until you showed up the next day, I think. And there's all these older folks that are like, youngest besides us was probably like mid 30s. Like
Yeah.
everyone else was like a young professional, not even a young professional, just an adult professional, older, going through PTSD, going through their like midlife crisis, going through their senior citizen crisis. We were like the young cats, dude. And I, remember that very distinctly because when I showed up, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm like the kid here. And then you showed up and I was like, oh, thank God. I'm not like the little baby here. But yeah, dude, I remember because I remember thinking like your vibe about you, there was just something I was like, dude, he's trouble, man. Like this guy's got some kind of,
I was all tatted up too.
dude, you're a troublemaker, dude. I remember very distinctly. I remember, and you like raised your hand in the Maloka and you were like, hey, I have some weed. And the guy that ran the retreat was like, yeah, you can't have that. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, man, this guy brought his
I knew it.
this guy, God, this guy. And it's funny because, after all these years, you're the guy that I still talk to from the retreat. And over the time there, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's just like, I know that I'm going to end up being friends with you kind of thing. You know what that's like, where it's like, you kind of just, it's just like, it's going to have, like, it's just, out of your control. I think at one point during our first ceremony, did I kick my bucket into you, my purge bucket into you, or did you
I
kick
think
yours into me?
I
Or what was
rolled
that?
into your bucket.
You rolled into my purge bucket. Yeah. So you rolled into my vomit. You were going through some crazy shit your first night. I
Yeah, a
remember, like,
purge bucket is when you drink the ayahuasca for the peoples, you
mhm.
got to vomit into this bucket,
Yeah.
and
And it smells fucking disgusting. Everyone has one, and the whole room is full of this nasty liquid vomit smell, and it is horrific. And it's also very dark, and you can't see anything, and you might just kick it over. You might just roll into it.
yeah, bro, my trip was like folding in on itself. I was having basically a panic attack.
Dude, so what was your first, talk about your first night? I mean, that first night, I was shook, dude. I was tripping. I was like shaking. I was crying. I'm tearing up. I'm shivering. I'm like walking there. I'm thinking like, this is it, man. This is your last time on earth. Like, you're going to die.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Right? It's like, all right, make peace with myself. And it's just dark, dude. I'm walking with
Bro,
my
I literally, I had the same thing at one point in my trip. I was like, okay, well, you went to Peru, you did ayahuasca, and you died.
the end.
The end. Now you're dead, bro. How's it feel?
It goes, dude. So I hallucinated my death every time we did it in Peru. Every single fucking night, I would willingly sign up to go die. and it sucked, dude. I remember that first night, like, I went to hell, bro. Like, I straight up visualized my body being dissolved into the earth and being eaten by insects, and I decomposed into the soil. I watched my dog die and turn into a skeleton. I watched my own funeral, and I remember it was funny because I saw everybody at the funeral, and I thought it was cool how, like, all these people I knew from different things in my life were like interacting and talking with each other, and I remember thinking that was cool. And then everyone's like waiting around because there was no casket, and it turns out I was fucking late to my own funeral, so it took forever for them to bring the casket in this like vision I'm having. I finally showed, and I thought that was just so funny. And that's like the cool, I don't know, for me the coolest part about it is that no matter how like dark and scary or like transcendent and whatever you're seeing is, it's always funny, dude. Like, there's always an element of humor, and that for me implies a deeper intelligence at work, because to make a joke, you got to know and be aware of what's going on. And I remember thinking, like, this is some crazy shit, dude. Like, it's so smart, dude. Like, that's what stood out to me the most. And yeah, dude, that first night I died. It sucked. But at least I didn't roll into my own vomit.
And just to clarify, you're saying that the brew, the ayahuasca itself, is smart.
I'm saying, here's the thing, dude, is like, over time, my understanding of what it is has totally evolved from even that first time that we did it. Because like that first time we did it, I mean, I didn't really understand not that I fully understand anything now, but
Right.
back then, I'm like, my mind was just so blown. I didn't really comprehend or understand. I was just like, this plant has evolved a way to talk to me, and this is the earth's way of speaking to me, right? Through evolving a psychoactive plant that I can take and talk to. And that for me implies like a plant intelligence or something like that. Over time, I've come to understand that it's not like just a plant's intelligence. It's more, to me, it's more of like a grander intelligence that lies at the root, pun intended, of everything. And that to me took a lot more ceremonies than just the three that we did, or the three that I did. Because I sat out of a few ceremonies, dude. I sat out of like 2 of them.
Oh, me too, bro.
I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't bring myself to do some of those. It was fucking terrifying, dude. And after, dude, the first night is one thing, right? Because the first night, you don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just like, all right, fuck it. Who knows what's gonna happen, dude? When you know how the first night went, and then you have to sack up to go to the second night, I'm just like, fuck this. Like, fuck this, man.
Yeah, I need a break, huh?
Dude, yeah, dude. And then I remember the other cool thing about our retreat was we would do San Pedro, which is mescaline, in between the ceremonies. And I remember how disgusting that was to drink, dude. It was like the sandy.
Oh
Dude, it took
yeah.
me over an hour to drink that the first time. It was gross, bro. What do you remember about your San Pedro experience?
Well, I liked San Pedro a lot better.
It was definitely more pleasant and less hellish
Yeah.
in a word.
I mean, the San Pedro was weird, man. It was kind of like mushrooms, but it hyped you up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I remember walking around, just still being super crazy, like just walking around. I think I said hi to you and you passed me, but I think maybe you were on it too. So you were like really like in your own world,
Yeah, dude.
and you were just
I
like,
was.
hey, and then you're like, what's up? Okay, bye. And you just went away. And then I
I
was
was
like,
blasted, dude. I was
oh, okay.
fucking blasted.
I was like, I guess Charles doesn't want to stay and talk or anything. You're just like, I was like, but I was like marching around in circles, like
Dude, I remember
weirdest
this.
part.
I remember hearing you from like across yards and yards and yards away. Like your voice, like in noises you're making, like echoing throughout the jungle. From like the other side dude, of the retreat center. Like all the like I remember we were by the lake and we were all covered in mud and listening to the Lord of the Rings music. And we just hear these noises coming from like across the garden. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's Harris. I know Harris when I hear him. Like
Yeah.
that's definitely
Oh,
Harris.
you know what? I just remembered too. I
Yeah.
actually threatened this guy because I was hallucinating on the San Pedro.
Yeah.
And this big dude walked by and he's like, hey, you want to take a walk, you know, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like some weird thing where like I was in between his way to go to the bathroom and he
He
decided
got
to
like
walk.
too close to you and he was walking
Yeah.
behind you or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it like just freaked me out because I was like, there's so much open space. Why'd you walk behind me?
Mm-hmm.
And before before he could even really like get out from where he was going, I was like, oh, like, why'd you do that?
You're at his neck, like ready, like
Yeah, and I was like threatening this guy because it was weird, and I thought he was like this. I thought he was like a priest or something because he had his towel hanging.
Dude, the funniest part out of all this
Yeah.
is this guy, like, remove the veil of hallucinogen, and this guy is this old ass dude, Denny, who's like this most like non-threatening fucking guy ever, dude. Like he was like, "Hey, how are you? Yeah, how
Yeah.
are you?" And Harris is just
He's a
like,
big guy though.
he was definitely like, yeah, dude. I could easily see how under the influence it could have become a whole different situation.
Well,
Like,
and it's just this
yeah.
weird thing where it's like like they're like, oh yeah, the plant medicines can help anyone, but someone who hallucinates already, it's weird to give that person hallucinogens and just be like, all right, this is all good luck to you, this is all gonna work out,
So
I think that was part of the
did
problem. I'm never taking hallucinogens again in my life. I think that was part of the problem.
yeah, but did the retreat help with the symptoms you're experiencing?
No.
No, you still
No.
came out of that shit crazy.
Yeah, the same. I mean, it kind of helped. It kind of turned. I felt good for like 2 months after that, and I still was
Okay.
the same, but I felt like just more able to deal with stuff. I felt
Interesting.
lighter. Yeah.
So do you
Yeah.
think it was worth it to go?
Yeah. I mean, just for a cool experience. I also traveled in Peru, or after that, after those 2 weeks, and
You
had
stuck
fun for a
around.
couple months.
You stuck around after for a little bit. You got into some crazy adventures down there.
Yeah, man.
Dude, do you remember when we went into town and we took that fucking golf cart or whatever? I
Yeah.
remember that shit. It's like just us. We went to town. We ate at some restaurant. I remember you were like flirting with the waitresses. Like, and I was like,
Oh,
dude, you remember
yeah.
that shit? There was two of them. I remember that shit. I remember you were flirting with the waitresses. I remember riding in that golf cart and it was like just us. And I remember like that sunset that day when we were coming back was like pretty crazy. Um, Dude, I remember the cool parts of that shit too were when we would like go into town and stuff like that, like a few times over the course of the I can't even remember. We were there for like 3 weeks or whatever. 2 weeks.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, that's what I was doing like for a month and a half.
So what did you do afterwards? What were you what'd you get into?
Bro, I met some girls, I traveled, had some crazy experiences.
What kind of crazy shit were you doing?
Just, you know,
You can keep it.
girls.
You can Yeah, dude. You were like killing it. Just like the boldness with which you would talk to these Peruvian chicks. I was just like I was so like blown away by that. I was just like, this guy, dude, he has like no fucks given at all, dude. It was so cool. I was like, damn, like this dude goes hard. Like socially, like you go hard socially in terms of like not, it's just like, it's like so, so many people, especially people that I know, because I'm kind of like that, where it's like a lot of people I know and I'm friends with are very hesitant, almost afraid to like talk to people or say how they really feel, or like they obfuscate their feelings within like layers of like emotional deception, or they're trying to like code their language to not piss you off. You don't give a fuck, dude. You go straight. You're just like, no, boom. It's just like a sniper shot of words. Which is what I think was so like so refreshing for me. I mean, still, it's just like compared to some of my other friends, dude, it's just like really, it's really crazy. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, I don't know if everyone in the world was like you, there might be a lot more fighting. There might be a lot less fighting. I don't know. It's hard to say. I remember, dude, the thing for me, and just going back to the San Pedro shit. So San Pedro to this day is the most powerful drug I've ever done. Even more powerful than the ayahuasca in terms of the physical feeling from it. Like the body high from San Pedro was so pleasant and so intense that I remember wishing it would stop because the pleasure became too much. Like it was like painful. It was like almost like when after you have reached orgasm and your dick is being touched after that, and it's like it's like too you know what I mean, it's like too sensitive. That's how I felt, but like through my whole body was like a penis that had just come, like, and by hour 8-9 of experiencing this insane pleasure for hours of just unrelenting, just euphoric fucking molasses of joy like rippling over my body. I'm just like, dude, I've had enough of this. And I couldn't turn it off, dude. Like you can't make it stop. I remember it was like 12 hours of body high. And I don't even know, like I've never had anything that even came close to that. Another really cool thing is that, I was sitting in the hut, the main like retreat center zone. And I was I was listening to music. I listened to Pink Floyd and I was just tripping balls. It was great. And, I kept seeing in the corner of my eye this 3-eyed dog sitting on the floor, like in my peripheral vision. It looked like there's just a 3-eyed dog sitting on the ground. And I remember thinking like, this is weird. Like, what is that? And I'm just like, whatever, I'm tripping, Dude, a couple hours later, one of the dogs from the retreat center came and sat in that exact spot on the floor and looked up at me right where the 3-eyed dog was. And I don't know if that was like some kind of premonition. I don't know if there's some kind of dog spirit lurking around. I don't know if I saw the future. I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but that shit was one of the craziest shits ever. I mean, I still can't explain that. I don't know what that is. There's like a dog spirit that is like guiding the dog. Is it some kind of future vision where I saw where the dog was going to be? Or is it just that zone looked like where a dog would sit and then a dog came and sat there? I don't fucking know. That shit was crazy. But
It's weird, man.
yeah, it was super weird. So yeah, dude, I remember I got like I still have it. I had like pages and pages of notes I wrote down of just like I don't know, man. Like so I went to Peru because I'd, been dealing with this really intense stomach pain for I don't know, probably a year or 2 years at that point. Um let's see. 2014, probably a year and a half, I think, at that point, and nothing had worked up until then. And it was like I was basically being stabbed in the stomach like all the time, every day, and it fucking sucked. And it was pretty fucking bad, dude. That shit'll make you depressed, don't know what's going on, feel like shit all the time. And then it's just like, through some Googling, found ayahuasca, and I'm like, dude, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna go balls out because frankly, the shit was so bad, I was like ready to fucking, uh jump off a fucking bridge, dude. It was really bad. And I remember after that first ceremony, like a relief of pain that I hadn't had ever. It was like this layer of pain was gone and lasted like to this day. And it wasn't a full relief though, which is the thing. It was like 50%. And throughout the retreat, like I couldn't fully, fix it. Like it was still 50%. And, I left there probably 50% better, and I've never gone back to that level I was before, but I still had a ways to go. And I think the thing is it kind of kick-started my sort of journey to like get better. And I thought it was going to be the end, but it was really just the beginning of this whole other trip of my life. And I don't know, man. For me personally, like in terms of like who I am as a person, dude, it's kind of like a A and a B when I think of myself before retreat. Like that shit was insanely impactful for my fucking life, dude. Like before that, man, I was just a fucking. It's like almost like I wasn't even conscious. Like I was like a fucking baby. You know what I mean? It's like you ever think about yourself like as you get older, become more and more aware, right? You ever think about yourself like last year and think like, damn, last year I was a fucking idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 It's like last year I was like a fucking dude. Yesterday was
Bro,
I
I
even
was looking on my Instagram and I was like, I'm on one of the things I follow
yeah.
is the Nicolas Cage fan page. I'm like, what fucking version of myself signed up to follow that guy?
Dude, that's all. Is it official or is it fan run?
It's just some fan run page.
Imagine the guy that runs the Nicolas Cage fan page. The devotion, the the lack of drive in other aspects of his life. Think about if you took all the time you spent making the Nicolas Cage Instagram and you put that into literally anything. Literally uh anything else. Hold on. Pause for a sec while I grab my food and put it in the fridge. Give me one sec.
Cool.
Fucking cocksucker fuck. Ow. God damn it. Ow, fuck you, dude. Oh, ow. Goddamn floor's so fucking slippery. Fuck. Ow, fuck me. Oh. All right. All right. Whoo. Oh. God damn it. Fuck you. Fucking cocksucker. Ow. Fucking shit. Fuck. Cock in my asshole. Woo. Fucking God. All right, bro. I'm back. I fucking slipped in my socks on the hardwood floor, dude. That was bad, bro. And I was like sliding around on the floor to get to the fridge because I didn't want to stand up. But I'm back. Oh, I'm gonna take my damn socks off so I don't slip. God damn. Anyway, yeah, dude. I mean, what do you think is the biggest difference between who you were in 2014 and who you are now? Is there a big difference?
I'm not sure there's a big difference. I mean, maybe just age.
Okay,
Definitely
yeah, you're older. Yeah. Besides that though, like what about anything about your personality different or how you look at life?
I would say for me right now, the medication comes to mind that I take.
So you think you're in a sense of like you've improved since then.
Yeah.
So how have you improved? You have less hallucinations?
Yeah, I have none.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's reverse lit. That's pretty blown out, but in a good way. Yeah, dude. I mean, how long have you been on the medication now?
Dude, I've been trying them for like a couple months, but I've been on this one for like 2 weeks and it's pretty good.
What's I mean, I guess you're gonna keep doing it, right?
Oh yeah.
Any bad side effects?
Dude, fatigue. They all give me fatigue, but
Oh.
it is crazy because I've been dying to talk about this.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, they all gave me fatigue, but then this one finally came along and like I started having some energy. So I'm to the point where I have like 60 or 70% of my energy.
Hell yeah.
And
Dude. Yeah.
yeah, sometimes even 80. So like it still worries me when I take naps and shit in the middle of the day, but
Yeah. What can you do to like combat that fatigue? Are you like hitting that caffeine pretty hard or like is there a way to counteract that shit?
I do caffeine, but also it's just like I got to keep taking it to see if more of it's going to wear off. If more of the fatigue's going to wear off, because that's what's already been happening.
So you've been slowly regaining your energy.
Right.
Dude, that's great.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I'm stoked on it, man.
Dude, how many meds do you think you've tried for this shit in your life?
Oh, man. Dude, at least 10.
Fuck, bro.
Dude, at least 10. It got so bad recently, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, bro, I'm not going to have a life because I can't even get out of bed to do shit.
Fuck. But then you got this one.
And then I got this one, bro.
Hell yeah. Dude, you wanna plug the med real quick or no?
I mean, it's the different meds react differently for everyone. The one I'm taking, so it might not be anything newsworthy for anyone, but if you want to know, it's called Vraylar.
Vraylar.
Yeah.
Ask your doctor about Vraylar. Dude, that's great, man. I mean, you sound like you're fucking stoked about it.
Yeah, I am.
What more can you ask for?
A little more energy.
Well, yeah, I guess that's for more. I mean, dude, I feel you, dude. It's hard when you try all this stuff and eventually it like feels hopeless. You know what I mean? Like you try so many, there's like fucking side effects, all this bullshit.
Yeah.
That shit's a tough journey, dude. And it's like, millions and millions of people fucking are battling this shit. I mean, not even just talking about like fucking, hallucination. I'm talking about any health issue you have, for
totally
a lot of people who don't have chronic shit they deal with like us. They think it's just like you go to the doctor, you take whatever they give you and it'll just fix it. And you don't have to. Some people have had that experience in their lives where they just go to the doctor. The first thing the doctor gives them works right away. They get no bad side effects. They take it, their issue's fixed and they're gone. You know what I mean? I've been to so many fucking doctors and tried so many damn prescriptions. I know you have too. And it's just like this feeling of just like, holy fuck, another thing to try, another thing to fuck me up. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I'm pretty sure it's not going to work because nothing ever works. And then, dude, fucking props to you, dude, for sticking around long enough to figure that shit out, man. Keep riding it out.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you got to keep going. And if you never have to take hallucinogens again, well, fucking great. Like, fuck that. You're trying not to hallucinate. You're good. You're
Yeah.
fucking good, bro. You're chilling. Do you think hallucinogen use in your past led to your condition at all?
It's possible, man. The first time I heard voices, I was on acid.
Did they stick around after the acid?
No. It took a while for them to come back.
Really?
Yeah.
So what do you remember the first time, like, or when around the first time you were started like hearing the shit when you weren't tripping?
I was like 18 or 19, and I was apprenticing at a tattoo shop for I was apprentice piercer.
Okay.
And I think I was just late after hours there, and I was just like hearing something. I was like, oh, that's not good.
Understatement of your life.
right, bro. Yeah, it's taken me till now to kind of get a hold of it.
I mean, how old are you now? You're
25.
25, so 7 years.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Well, could have gone on 70 years, dude. Could have gone on 7,000 years. Yeah, man. Do you remember what the first thing you heard was? Was it a voice?
Yeah.
What did it sound like?
I don't remember. I've heard so many, dude.
Well, dude, honestly, they can suck a dick because they're all gone now. Bye.
That's right.
Bye, bitch. Peace.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking of doing something like whatever career I go into, like doing a YouTube channel and talking about being a professional while having those kind of symptoms. And I don't know, man, just showing that because I don't even have the symptoms now, but just showing that things are possible and people can do it.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, I'm hoping people that are listening to this podcast and have made it all the way to this point would understand that and, like, maybe see some light at the end of the tunnel. Dude, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm gonna keep it, and we've talked about this, off the air. I'm gonna leave out names, but I know a few people who recently have been experiencing symptoms of that kind of stuff, and it's pretty scary, man. I mean, think about someone who's just starting on that 7-year journey you went on, dude. Think about where you were at the beginning of that 7-year journey.
Well, and you can cut it shorter too. That's a positive message to put out there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Dude. Like, I was trying medication a couple years ago and I gave up on it because I didn't find the right one fast enough.
You tried a few and you're like, fuck this.
Yeah, they all seemed kind of the same, and I was like, fuck this.
Yeah. I mean, what are the medications doing? It's some kind of like neurotransmitter sort of thing. Do you know the mechanism, how they work?
Yeah, they block dopamine.
So does that manifest in, like, does that affect your motivation to do shit?
No, I feel good.
Yeah.
They just, I guess I have extra.
So
it sends like around. Yeah, so it sends like extra signals and stuff. So it just blocks that, and I think it does more, but it blocks that. And no, I still feel motivated and good to do stuff.
Good, dude. Well, 2 weeks, no voices. Fuck, I mean, you didn't even have to go to hell or fly to the jungle or do it.
Dude, I didn't have to do any of that. It is making me fatter, though. That's one thing. I'll probably get real fat by the end of my life.
Really? You think in like a couple decades you'll be a big guy?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, what can you got to just become...
It's what it is.
You got to stop eating.
I'm just gonna become a big guy eventually.
If you're a big guy that's not hallucinating, it's probably better than being a fit guy who's not even on this planet. So
yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's like presented with that choice, bro. Like, what do you which one are you gonna take? I mean, I think the choice is pretty obvious.
Yeah, man. Hopefully I can still get a hot wife, bro.
I think if you find her soon before you get real fat, and you just don't tell her that you're gonna get fat, she'll figure it out on her own.
Yeah.
You
Or
know
I'll
what
make
I
a
mean?
bunch of money.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You don't even buy your way out of that. I mean, your dad isn't overweight or anything, so she'll have no idea. You
That's
know,
true.
your dad's like a pretty fit guy, so when people look at the partner, they see their partner's parents. It's like, what are you going to look like when you're older? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Both my parents are skinny.
Yeah, so that she'll have no idea, dude. It's the perfect. It's the perfect trap, dude. She'll suspect nothing.
Yeah. And then she'll be stuck with me.
Yeah, dude. But I don't know. There are chicks that are into a big guy. Some kind of cuddly, like larger. You could find I'm sure there's plenty of gay dudes that'd be into that too. If you really can't find a woman. But yeah, dude. I mean, dude, you're still talking to one of those girls from Peru from all those years ago, right?
Yeah.
So what you still talk to her on Facebook and shit?
Yep.
So I mean, dude, what's she gonna do? Marry a fit Peruvian guy or some fat ass American guy? I think the choice is clear. Some fucking fat ass American boy, buy her an iPhone. Let's go, dude.
There we go.
You're not getting no Nextels with me. You're not getting no Boost Bubble with me.
She's plenty rich, bro. Her parents bought a hotel and named it after her.
So she's the rich one.
She's the rich one, yeah.
You gotta get in there. You gotta get in there, dude. I don't know, man. I mean, do you ever think about going back
to Peru?
Yeah.
I'd probably go to a new country.
Where'd you go?
Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
Yeah. Or I would go to Israel.
Reconnect with the family. Defend the homeland.
Yeah.
Throw some rocks at a guard.
Palestine.
Start a skirmish. I know. Start a skirmish. Yeah, dude. I'll tell you, man. This happens when I'm like at night sometimes when I pass a plant or a bush and I catch a whiff in the air, like a smell of the plants. Sometimes it takes me back there, dude.
Yeah, bro. I catch a smell sometimes like it smells like things I smelled in the jungle and it brings me right back.
Right? How crazy is that, dude? It's really cool, man. I don't know, dude. It was like part of it though is like, that was a special time and I don't want to dilute the experience by just going again or you know what I mean? Like I kind of want to just leave it for what it is. But there is a sort of a nagging, what it really is just like the comfort of that time, being isolated away from everything, feeling, like this incredible like gratitude to be alive, all this wonder and like mind-blowing shit that's happening every fucking day, meeting all these new people. I think for me, the biggest thing and the biggest difference between me now and me then is like my attitude towards people, which is before I would go, dude, I was fucking like so weird around new people and so like angry at them for no reason. I like hated people, dude, like straight up, like just this unnecessary anger towards everybody else, man. And after going there, it just like blasted that shit away to where I'm not like that anymore, dude. I like meeting new people because people are fucking weird and interesting and they might be annoying, but at least it's funny, like, I mean, what am I going to do? Just sit at home and masturbate in my own mind all day? You know what I mean? Talk to myself. Well, fuck that, dude. Like dude, I was that guy before, man. I had this just, this, I don't know, this burning like redheaded anger toward, this genetic anger towards everybody else that I don't know, man. That to me, I didn't go for that. I didn't even go for that, even close to that. I went for the physical shit. But that mental change afterwards was the biggest thing for me. Also, understanding really how lucky I am to like have my parents and like have the life I did and grow up the way I did. And I never was true. Like you say, like, thank you. And you sort of understand like you're blessed with whatever your life is. But like, dude, I remember I called my parents and I was just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. I go home and I'm just like, thank you guys so much. Like, And you know, my parents, dude, they knew I was going, and they're like, I mean, my parents are very like, you know, they were in the army. They're very straight laced, very like anti-drug, very like, what the hell are you doing? And eventually they told me not to go, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go. I gotta go. And eventually they came to terms with it. And I think when I came back, and I was like this very, you know, it's not like I came back and I was like strung out, like, you know, like, oh fuck, man, that was a crazy time. It was like I would came back and I just couldn't stop saying thank you to everybody. Just like, thank you so much for everything. And like, dude, I still feel like, you know, other people who, it's something about ego death, dude. Like when you really see yourself from the third person and you look at your life, it's just like, I don't know, man, that experience, you can't, there's something about it, man. You can't replicate that, dude. That's why I feel like it's like I'm a different guy from that day, man, because I wasn't even aware of all this shit that I've been given all, you know, my life, dude, and how lucky I am to fucking even be alive at all, dude. Like, holy fuck, man. That shit is crazy. Like, you never even, and there's people that, you know, go their whole lives and they never have that experience at all. I could have gone my whole life, never had that experience. And I never would have had it if I hadn't been in pain to begin with. So the craziest thing was being grateful for my own fucking pain, dude. That's the craziest shit, man. Like, I'm sure you can kind of relate too, dude, where it's like this shit that you battle in your own fucking head, it's only made you stronger, right? Like, it's definitely fucked you up, it's beat you down, but like going through that and, you know, pushing against that, I mean, what are you going to do? Have an easy ass life and just be a bitch, like be a big bitch who's never struggled with anything? Like, no, dude, people don't even know, dude. Think about, I know you can think about that. I think about it all the time because of like, but what's funny is like, you know, I went for physical pain and that's the shit I deal with. You go for mental shit. Like, there are people that don't have to deal with mental shit and they don't have to deal with physical shit. And it's like, you have no idea how lucky you are to not, but you would never know unless you went through it like we did. Right. So it's kind of the beauty and the silver lining of that shit, man, which is the craziest like mind fuck of all, dude. Like,
yeah, it definitely makes you more grateful.
Yeah, dude. Like, the other thing too, man, it was weird, man. Like, I went for one thing, man, and I got all this other shit out of it, or it's like all these other lessons, bro. And I still think about, I mean, it's all true, dude. It all rings true to this day. The craziest thing and the most powerful, I think the most powerful moment, and I've said this like 7 times, like the most craziest thing, the most wildest thing, the wildest shit I saw in my trips, like the wildest vision I had up until that point was the first night. And I saw myself in the third person in like a time lapse fast forward of my whole life. And I watched myself sit in the dark in front of a fucking computer screen for years, bro. And I fucking cried for hours, dude. I cried so much. Oh my God, dude. Just crying in the fucking jungle in the dark. I'm just like, oh, I can't. Just fucking dude, I'm sobbing. You're covered in my vomit next to me, sleeping.
Yeah, bro.
Sobbing, bro. I'm sobbing my fuck. It was crazy, man. And I still think about that to this day, man. Like, I never valued like going outside, dude, even like getting out of your fucking room and going off of your computer. I never even thought that was even a big deal, like at all. I was just like, fuck it. Like, I didn't even think about it. You're not even aware of it. But now it's like I take a conscious effort to spend time. I still take a conscious effort to like stay away from a screen when I can, man. Because fuck that shit, dude. I remember what I saw, man. I remember years and years of my face in the blue glow. And I'm just like screaming at myself, like, go outside, dude. Like, go talk to somebody. I'm in my room Googling how to talk to girls, how to fucking, you know, how to make a friend or whatever. And it's just like, go outside, you fucking idiot. Like, are you, you know, and
have you actually Googled those things?
I definitely Googled like how to talk to girls and shit like that. I don't think I Googled like how to make a friend, but I definitely Googled like how to, I went through like a big hypnotism phase when I was a kid, and I was like looking up how to hypnotize people, how to like convince people shit, how to tell when someone's lying, all this stuff. There's all this like psychological thing, that was like in high school, I was like really big into that shit. And I'm watching myself in the third person go do all that. And I'm just like, dude, just go outside and fucking talk to somebody. And that's really stuck with me, man. Like, that's some powerful shit I didn't even know, bro. I didn't even know.
So do you do that today? Do you go outside and talk to people?
Hell yeah, dude. And here's the crazy thing. And it's just clicking for me now, dude. Like, this, this podcast is like part of that journey, dude, where it's like learning how to just talk in front of an audience or talk to people, talk to, just be able to talk to somebody. Like, it's a skill that I've like only begun really trying to develop since then. And, today at work, I had this meeting with somebody that I'd never met before. And I had to shoot the shit with them for like 5 minutes before the shit really started. And like, before that, I would have been fucking before this podcast, honestly, I would have been fucking terrified to like do that. But since the podcast, dude, I can bullshit with someone over Zoom for fucking hours and hours. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
hell yeah, man.
I felt that today.
It's fun.
I was like, dude, I'm fucking joking and all this shit and making another person laugh. And I'm like, damn, this is the podcast, bro. Like, this shit is fucking applicable to your real life. It's fucking crazy. And I think part of, why we connected or why like I like spending time with you is because you were kind of that person in terms of your like social ability to talk to anybody or whatever your desire. You can go talk to anybody. I didn't realize like that is who I needed to be more like, you know what I mean? Like I needed to eventually get that point. I'm only putting this together like right now, by the way. Where it's like that was part of it where I'm like, the ayahuasca kind of kickstarted that sort of journey where it's like, dude, talking to people is the shit, dude. Like, it's fucking dope, man. I used to hate it, dude. I used to run away from fucking, I would look at my phone. I'm looking away. I'm doing anything to avoid people. I'm doing anything. Now, like, all these years later, plus the podcast, it's just like, I'm the guy saying hi, dude. And it's fucking sick. As opposed to the guy trying to duck the hi, which is I was that guy. And I see people do it to me now too. And it's funny because I'll say hi to them anyway. And I'm just like, hey, someone trying to not to say hi. It's like, no, fuck you. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. So that journey has been like a big part of, I don't know, just my life. And, the ayahuasca kickstarted that for me, and I didn't even go there for that. I didn't even go there.
Yeah, I remember hitting you up, and you're being like, "No, I don't want to come out. I'm just gonna stay in my room all weekend."
Yep. Yeah, dude, that was me, dude. So the other thing is like, we've done ceremonies not in Peru after that. You and I did a ceremony out in the desert. Just us and the kid shaman. I will always remember this. Just us and this kid younger than us, dude. We thought we were the kids of this retreat. Imagine the shaman is this fucking kid, dude. And
bro.
It was him and like your homie, his helper, and just us two out in the desert because everyone else bailed. And I remember we started talking in the middle of the fucking trip, which they always said in Peru, like, don't talk in the middle of the trip or whatever.
I think the peak was over.
I was I was going pretty fucking hard. It was hard. It was honestly hard to talk because like it was like a worm would come out of boring through my brain in like the middle of my sentence, like in the middle of.
Yeah, that brew was good, man.
Dude, that was some strong, powerful shit, man. That was some crazy.
I remember thinking like the garden, there was like a garden around us and it was just the desert. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Shrubbery, but the garden, I was like a garden and it was like breathing at the same time with me and like breathing through me and like, oh man, it felt so good. Man.
The garden was in the eye of the beholder, dude. Yeah. It's like fucking Eden, dude. Yeah. The desert.
Dude, and the water would run and I would cry and it was like a cue and it was like, it was all one, bro. I felt like one with this weird imaginary garden, bro.
Yeah, dude.
It's so like, I told that to a girl one time and she's like, you're a retard.
Oh man, it's hard, dude. It's hard telling people that haven't experienced it or aren't open-minded to it about it. I learned eventually you gotta just. There's no point in telling some people because they're so.
They don't
Unless
get
you're
it.
trying to like fuck with them because they don't get it. They're never gonna get it, and
Yeah.
they're just like, it makes you feel bad, dude. Like I would tell people some shit,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it
get a
does.
closed off response, and I'm just like feeling. I'm like, oh man, like I thought this was so special. You make me feel like a fucking idiot loser. You know what I mean? And it's just like, at a certain point, it's like not worth it because.
It's not for everyone.
But when there's people that are open to it that you tell, it's tight, dude. It's like,
Yeah.
it feels really good, man. And yeah, man, I don't know, dude. Some people don't
I
get
mean,
it.
she was cool, but it's just wasn't the right conversation.
Yeah. No. Well, this sounds like it. Dude, yeah, man. I remember this shit it does something to your like memory centers of your brain too, dude, because I remember things would come up in ceremony that were like memories buried long ago from years and years and years ago that I'd forgotten. And I remember ceremonies that I don't remember like anything from that month or that year or whatever. Like I just only remember that. Like I remember being in the fucking, desert with you during that time, and there are like flashes and moments and shit I remember. One thing I remember is me just being like, damn, like I just need a mic, bro. Like give me a microphone. You know what I'm saying? And I'll do whatever. I'll rap, I'll fucking talk, I'll fucking do comedy, I'll fucking sing, whatever. I just need a mic and a pen, bro. And I came out of that thinking like, man, that's all I need in this whole fucking world, dude, is a pen to write with and a mic to fucking read what I just wrote down. And that stuck with me since then. I remember, dude, holy fuck. The funniest shit, bro, is like when I'm like fucking, I'm wailing or whatever. I was losing my shit. Wailing, like crying, howling,
Like
screaming.
Waylon Jennings.
I don't know what that is.
I think it's a country
Wow,
country music star.
it's a guy. Yeah, I was Waylon Jennings. And you're just like, dude, who hurt you? And I fucking was crying and laughing so hard after that. I remember to this day, man, that was one of the funniest fucking moments of my life. I'm like, dude, you're fucking hit the bullseye. Like, holy fuck, that was so funny, dude. It was such a perfect. I was like, I needed that, and that kind of kickstarted a whole part of my trip too. That shit was perfect, man. It's always perfect, dude, because you get whatever you need, and then some. And it's always, it's always the way that.
Who are you?
Dude, that was oh my god, dude. That might be that was one of the funniest shits you've ever. I mean, it rang like it struck a chord with me like so deep to where I was just like I was like crying and laughing after that too. It also helped me get out of this fucking I was kind of stuck in this sort of loop of just feeling sorry for myself. And when you said that, it like blasted me out. I was just like, holy fuck, dude. Like,
that's funny.
Lighten the fuck up, man. Yeah. Lighten the fuck up. I like really, yeah, dude. Wow. Yeah, that was some powerful shit, man. That was a strong ass brew, dude. One of the strongest brews we've ever sipped, and it was just us in the middle of the fucking desert with the kid shaman, dude. That was fucking epic, bro. Like
tight memory.
Yeah, dude, that was tight. And dude, speaking of the garden, I've had the garden experience too, which makes me think like that's probably part. So there's something there. Like I've experienced the garden too, not at that time, but at a different place where I would go in the valley and sit in ceremony at this person's house, and out back there's a koi pond and all these trees, and oh man, dude, I this was like I think one of the last ceremonies I ever went to, probably like 2 years ago. 3 years ago. No, 2 years ago. 2.5 maybe. And
1.25.
1.25 and 3/7. It's really important I get the fraction right. so this and to this day, this is still the most powerful. I mean, God, every single one. The most powerful, craziest, most crazy, powerful thing of all. Whatever. But bear with me. So this and all right, I'm just gonna say like what I experienced, right? So I'm sitting in this dude's house, right? I take this shit. I'm going in through it. I'm experiencing it. Whatever. It's like pretty. It's I'm feeling it. I'm sitting there, I'm having closed eye visions, whatever. It's not like fully kicked in yet. The shaman calls me to sit in front of him for a personalized like song or whatever. You know, he calls me up for a song or blessing or whatever. So I go sit in front of him. He sings this song, and it is like this alien, you know, insane, like like unfathomable noise. And you know, I'm like, okay, thank you. And I go back and sit down, and the song, like, dude, the songs are such a key part of the experience that, you know, going into it, I thought was bullshit. Like before I got on the plane to Peru, I was like, the songs are bullshit. You're just tripping balls and it sounds cool. Dude, the songs fucking work, man. Like the shit activates it. I don't know what it is, man, but dude, when I sat down after that guy sang to me, dude, I went to space, bro. Like right after that, man. Like it's like not a it's just not a coincidence, man. It just happens right after. And I remember teleporting into the future on my deathbed. And like also flashing in between there, my current place, and also sort of a hospital room where these kind of worm-like beings are standing over me, looking at me, like healing me, which is some kind of like spirit entity shit. In retrospect, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that was, some kind of alien spirit hospital thing. Anyway, I teleported to my deathbed, and then at the end, it's just me and my fucking thoughts, and then the infinite. And I remember thinking, like, damn, this is what happens at the end. Like, all it is just you, and are you cool with yourself? Like, and if you're not, that's hell. If you are, that's fucking heaven, dude. And like, ever since then, I don't know, that shit stuck with me. But anyway, I digress. The next night, here's the thing, dude. In Peru, they told us never do it 2 nights in a row, never do it 2 nights in a row. And everyone has different practices and whatever. This was my first time doing it 2 nights in a row because I had always thought, you're not supposed to do it 2 nights in a row. But, you know, for whatever reason, I was like, fuck it. This place does 2 nights in a row. I'll try it. So the second night, bro, like the second night builds on the first when you do it 2 days in a row. The second night, like, uses the first night as a launch pad, and it's extra strong because the shit is still in you from the previous night.
Oh, damn.
Dude, it blasts you off, bro. And it takes the lessons from the previous night, and it's like that was only chapter 1, and it writes a whole new fucking book out of that shit. And bro, same thing, dude, where I take this shit. And first off, the second night, I remember it actually feeling good from it. And ceremony had always sucked so bad. Like, it always been worth it after I walk away, you know, even in the desert, I always walk away feeling great physically, mentally, whatever. But the experience of doing it sucks. Like it's painful. I feel like shit. I feel like I'm dying. Like my brain is in a torturous spiral where time doesn't even exist. Just like me and my own torture. And it's horrible. This was the first time it actually felt good. And I felt good in my fucking body and my mind. And I'm like, oh, this is why, you know, I understand why it can actually be nice to do this. Like, it doesn't always have to be this torturous hell. And I'm like, I got a pretty mellow, pleasant trip tonight. Oh, that's nice. Of course, then I go up for the song, bro. And I'm just a naive idiot. Every time I'm always like, this is going to be a mellow night. I finally got a mellow one. Like, and it always kicks my fucking ass. And so I go sit in front of the shaman, dude. It's pitch black, and I can't see anything. He's singing in this fucking, oh yeah, boy, come by. You know, he's fucking singing in the alien language, whatever. And I can't see anything except while he's singing, this giant gear, like a gear in a machine, emerges out of the darkness and is in front of me. This like massive gear. And it just floats up towards me. And I understood in that moment that was fucking God or infinity or time itself or the simulation that we're in or whatever you choose to believe. It's all the same thing. And that shit was in front of me, like right in front of my fucking face. And I mean, I was just kind of like, all I could say was thank you, dude. I just kept saying thank you to this fucking gear. Like this fucking gear, dude. Like it's just floating in front of me. And I'm just like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, you know? And I don't know, man. When I first went to Peru, I was fucking hardcore atheist. I had through enough ceremonies and through that many years. I mean, that was fucking God to me, right? It still is God to me. And, you know, whatever. I saw the gear. I said, thank you. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I was doubting you until you said that you kept saying thank you to it.
dude, what else am I going to fucking say?
Right.
Hi, I've got some things I want to ask for. I want an Xbox. Like it's Santa. You know what I mean? People treat God like Santa, bro. People treat God like, please let the Yankees win today, God. You know, a baseball player. Please let me hit a home run, God. It's like, God's not fucking Santa, bro. It's like, I want a PS5. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is that, dude? It's just like, when it's in front of your face, man. I mean, all I could say is just like, thank you, bro. And it's, I mean, pretty intense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after that, you know, I go and sit outside, and this takes us to the garden, right? So I go sit outside by this koi pond. It's just me in the garden.
Is it
And
an actual garden?
kind of, it's a backyard with a koi pond, and there's plants. It
Okay.
felt like a garden. That's what I'm saying, though, is it's like, it felt like the Garden of Eden. Like how you felt the desert was a garden.
Like
It's
you
the
could
same
feel
thing.
the garden.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, I know what you're talking about because I experienced the same thing, but in a totally different place. That's why I'm saying it's like there's something in the plant that is sort of it's related. It's got to be, you know, it's some kind of archetype Garden of Eden, sort of beyond. It's like a precious, sacred nature.
Oh, the FBI's behind you.
What?
They heard us. They heard us cracking the code, the secrets, bro. I see the FBI behind you,
Oh fuck yeah! You scared the shit out of me.
bro.
There's a window right there.
Your phone rang too, bro. That's them.
It's all good, guys. We'll snitch on criminals later. Okay.
Okay.
Um, dude, so I go outside and I sit in this fucking.
I love that you actually got scared just now.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I don't know where I don't know. There could be a guy there.
Oh man.
Dude, get this.
Sorry to do that.
Yeah, it's all good. That was funny. Dude, so I go outside, right? I don't think I've ever told you this shit either, but yeah, so bear with me. I go outside. I'm sitting in this fucking Garden of Eden, right? And the moon is giant, this giant fucking moon. And all of a sudden I feel like there's a moment when everything comes alive, like how you described it, like you're in this garden and everything's alive. There was like a moment where it just shook, and it felt like someone was there, but there wasn't anybody. It felt like a guy walked into the room, but there's no one. It's just me, dude.
Whoa.
And the way I kind of visualized it was like the moon was the guy that had walked in. That wasn't actually a guy. It was the gear. It was God, whatever, you know, whatever you want to call it. It was the ayahuasca spirit, like whatever.
Like
Dude,
they walked in and turned the light on.
Yeah, like, yo, but no one fucking did. It was like, I remember very distinct, like, and you know, here's the thing, dude, in the Genesis story with Adam and Eve, they like feel a presence in the garden that they know it's like God is there. You know what I'm saying? Like they are aware when God shows up to say, what up? They feel it. It was like that, dude. And immediately it's just like connecting to this Genesis moment. Because you know, I went to Catholic school, so I know all the fucking Bible shit. I know I grew up with all that Old Testament. You know, for me, it's the Old Testament. For you, it's just the Testament. You know, that was my fucking. You know, I grew up with a lot of shit. I know all that shit's in my subconscious or whatever. So, bro, the fucking moon shows up.
You got Catholic guilt?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, we could do hours and hours on that. That was part of you know, part of my every single ceremony for sure. But straight up. But dude, so the moon shows up, dude. I talked to the moon for like 15 minutes, and this shit was talking back, bro. Like I talked to God for like 15 minutes, dude, and it was fucking crazy. And to this day, that was, I don't even know, one of the most. I mean, that was it, bro. That was like the peak ayahuasca, peak drug, peak religious experience of my life, bro. Like I've been to church hundreds of times, right? You know, I don't go anymore, but when I was a kid, I went every Sunday. So I've been to church a million times, never even reached close to this level of like religious spiritual level where it's just like, bro, I'm shooting the shit with God for like 15 minutes. Like calling him dude. I'm like, yo, dude, like what the fuck did you do this shit to me for? Like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? I'm like, why, dude? Like, what the fuck? Dude, what's going on? And I just thought that was so funny after. It's just like, you know, instead of being like, Father, why have thou forsaken me? I'm just like, dude, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? Like, bro, yeah, man, I talked to God for like 15 minutes, bro. He talked back, and then you know, I can't remember how it ended. I think he left and I went inside or something like that. I don't even know. You know, I can't remember how that ended, but that was it, man. That the night 2 of that ayahuasca in the valley in Los Angeles, man. That was, I talked to God for like 15 minutes. The first thing he said to me was, "Where's the movie? Like, why the fuck are you in Hollywood and you have no movie?" And I was like, dude, I know, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, oh my God, dude. That's the Catholic guilt, man. I was just like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm so fucking sorry. And like, I don't know. I'm not going to divulge all of what, you know, me and the big guy talked about. But
of course,
that was some powerful shit, man. That was some real shit. And that's how I know the shit's legit. And that was probably the end of like, you know, through doing ayahuasca, sometimes separated by years, separated by months. I've done probably 10, 11, 12 ceremonies. I can't even remember, over, you know, 7 years or whatever, 6 years. And it's taken me from being like hardcore atheist, people hating, closed-minded, fucking loser who doesn't want to go outside to, you know, the dude I am now. So that's why all I can say is fucking thank you, you know, at the end of the day. Like, we're fucking lucky, dude, that we went and did that shit. We're lucky that you're lucky that you fucking have this shit you battle with, because it's, you know, it's made you who you are, dude. Same with me, man. Like, otherwise, what the fuck are you gonna do? Have an easy ass life and chill? Oh, life's great. I didn't learn anything. I just chilled because it was fucking easy as fuck. Yeah, that's dope. That's fulfilling. No way.